What is happening, y'all? Welcome back to the walkthrough. In this episode, we're going to be knocking out Abduction, the Warrior, and Burning Sky. Now, none of these missions have anything that we need to get that is considered an important item. This one has a hot spring, but it's the same hot spring that we used back on Frenzy Blaze. This one, there's nothing. But either way, they are still worth doing for that achievement. Trophy, whatever you want to call it. This one in particular is 100% worth doing because it relates to the blacksmith and upgrading weapons and armor that the blacksmith has available for you. So either way, Burning Sky is up first. Now, before we jump on into that, we have some things to talk about. We have a new delicious soul core. Now, taking down Kasha gave us the soul core, and in my opinion, this is one of the higher tier soul cores in the game. It's very, very potent because of two things. One, scroll on over here. Life Drain Yokai ability hit. This is a base ability on it, meaning it's going to be healing you anytime you use it and whatever other one you use. And two, faster movement on Amrita absorption. This essentially gives you like a basic, like a mini tiger scroll anytime you absorb Amrita, allowing you to be like zip, 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 and sprint around. So really, really nice core. Looking at the movie here, you can see it's kind of like you throw out your Beyblade, let it rip, and it just kind of spins around on stuff, lighting it on fire. Very, very effective. So we're going to be making that our new primary. Now, as for our secondary, let's look around here. Ooh, Nurikabe is actually... You know what? This is going to be some delicious synergy because this Nurikabe has anima bonus on Scorched Enemy, so we're going to put him on. Now, if you want, this one's actually... It's not a bad choice to go ahead and upgrade your Kasha. Kasha definitely works well upgraded. Let's see, I do have quite a few Mortal Soul Cores. But ideally, I'd want to get another Kasha to use, since this one has Anima Charge bonus inheritable. I'll move that over. But beyond that, I will go ahead and upgrade her some. So we're going to take you, and you, and you. And that'll take my life drain, and we're going to also make it a phantom type. And this will put you can see my life drain is now at an A rank, which is very, very nice. So anyway, let's follow the path along here. Go back here, kill this guy. Now right above, there's going to be an Enki. You can see him hanging up there, but before that, that's excessive. We don't need that. Let's pull out the rifle instead. And poop. And poop. I didn't even check my gear. We could, we'll do that at the end of the mission. As I mentioned, it is time to swap out my gear. Oh. Oh, oh. Yeah, I know she's supposed to be a mother holding her child, but the way she walks, it's more like a drunk lady cradling a bottle of booze. And look at this speed right now. Like I said, it's like a mini tiger running. It's not going to beat out real tiger running. But right here, so we have to get up there, but first we got to get the key. So we're just going to haul ass this way. Skip right past this stuff. Ooh, a little close there. Careful of the Abume. There we go. Nice little sprint. That. Now, we can try and sprint back across, but to be honest with y'all, it's probably not going to happen because the Tengu is going to plunge down in addition to the Ubume. So between the Tengu and the Ubume, it's usually pretty risky business trying to get across, but we're going to try it anyway. It looks like the Ubume may have fallen. So that worked out well. Past this guy. Like I said, we're not really concerned with killing any of these guys. It's a short and sweet mission. Go up here and cut over. And now back up top. And we're at the shrine. Nice and short, right? So while we're at the shrine, I'm going to take a moment here just to check through some of the gear we picked up. Ooh, Tadanashi. If I got enough Tadanashi pieces, that would actually be very, very good for me. Oh, shit. I don't know who I killed that was dropping all the Tadanashi gear. Elemental damage taken while guarding. Let's do you to get down into the B. Do we have Tadanashi here? We do not. But I'll do elemental damage taken while guarding, and no Tadanashi. Damn it. I really wish I had more Tadanashi. Heirloom Greaves. That's fine. It'll all work well in this category. Yep. Solid upgrade. That. And then we don't really need this on anymore. Let's find something that we can level up. I'll put a lock on that because grapple damage isn't a terrible inheritable. Final blow 8.3. Grapple's probably about 8.3 before it's upgraded. 64. Grapple 10.7. That might be higher than what we have. Could have earned Demon Undercut. Enemies defeated. Damage bonus sucks. Melee key damage we already have on the weapon. Percent final blow. Okay. Nothing really to write home about. And I want to reiterate that right now, you know, we're very much just in random gear. The biggest thing is we're mostly heavy gear. We're still keeping our equipment weight at B. And I have a lot of people that have been asking lately, you know, like, hey, how do I build out for mid game? What's a mid game build, or what's a good early game build? Yo, there really isn't a need for it. You know, we have 2 matching set pieces, which are going to reduce range damage. Beyond that, this is very much a put on whatever you got build, and it'll work perfectly fine just because we leveled properly. Just, you know, putting everything in stamina. So the very first thing we're going to do is run on up this way and kill this asshole. And drop down and run up this way and kill this one. All right, now Nioh's over there, so we can take our time here, and we're gonna get rid of these heads. Where's the other one at? Get this loot while we're here. There's the head. Oh. Nice little buggers. All right, and now we're ready to fight Nioh. And once you kill him, that's it. That's the whole mission. Short and sweet, right? Actually, a fun thing, I was talking about this in the other episode, but we can get him to ram himself into walls if we play it smart. I really wanted to show him ramming himself into a wall, but since he's not doing that at all, we'll just kill him, be over with it. But basically, when he charges you, if you duck out of the way and he hits a wall, he'll blow through most of his stamina and stun himself. And that's it for that mission. Now, this next mission actually gets us a very nice Guardian Spirit. At this point in the game, if you're not a fan of Tengen, I think this would be your next best bet if you're playing either an Odachi build or a Axe build like we are. It's the big panda bear spirit from Obsidian Warrior. Pretty strong. Alright, let's hit the shrine up. We still have on our levitate. which I suppose it's not terrible. We can keep that on since we're in the fiery level. Now, looking up at the mini-map, you'll notice we have a bunch of different little kind of light-up things. Now, this mission actually is going to involve you essentially going through like a mini boss fight. You're just fighting a couple yokai. Go through here, ignore that guy. Just gonna run right past this Tesso to get over to the shrine. If he follows, we'll kill him, but not concerned about him. So, looking at the map, as you can see, there's a little shiny over there. There's one that's back that way. There's one that's that way. Another one. And then we have the centerpiece here. Now, on this mission, essentially there are 4 different things around the map. And each of those 4 things is going to be representative of a potential Oni B core, or an Oni B that'll show up in the fight. The actual fight isn't going to be hard at all. The fight's going to start off with a Yoki, and then right after that is an Ippon Datara. So, 2 enemies that you're very familiar with right now. For each of those things that you don't go and do, it's going to summon an additional Oni B, those little heads that try to light you on fire and attack you. We don't give a shit. We're just going in. There is something we can do to make them not be a problem at all. We're going to put it on a shortcut, actually. But the Daionjin Sake, this stops elemental statuses from being inflicted on you. So as long as you have that, you might take a little bit of damage from an Oni B, but it's nothing that's going to be able to really hurt you. We're going to pop some sprint just for good measure. We're going to repop this, and we're going to head straight in. Now, this is timed based, so you want to get in here and kill as fast as possible. So you have 2 Oni Bs dead. Okay. Waiting for the Oni Bs to show up. That's 1 Oni B. There's the next Oni B. And now we're going to toss Kasha out. And all of this, everything I'm doing right now is just being very patient. As you can see, I didn't go overly aggressive. I didn't try to, you know, overstep and do like a big combo. I waited. I made sure the 4 elemental heads were dead. Got a couple of heals occasionally. And just getting damage when my targets are open. Now, if you're really struggling and you can't get this done, of course you can just go and destroy those things, but to be honest, I don't think it's worth you taking the time to go through the entirety of this level to stop 4 elemental heads from adding into a fight. The fight's so easy, even with them, that it's not worth it. So anyway, we go on up to him, talk to him. He asks what you're going to plan on doing moving forward since Nobunaga's dead, and you get the guardian spirit, the Atlas Bear. Now, Atlas Bear is actually a pretty safe choice. As I mentioned before, this is a tank-oriented spirit. Some nice things on here. We have damage bonus, low key, so some obvious synergies with things like rage. They're going to burn through your key. Faster winded recovery for when you're out of key. A flat 5% melee damage boost, and then 200 life drain anytime you get a grapple attack. So if you are doing Odachi or Axe and you don't like doing Tengen, you want to go back to Brute, 100% put on that Atlas Bear and get to work. And actually, while we're on it, let's talk about the Ninetales, because that's the one we picked up after the Kasha mission. Another one that I think is worth mentioning, as it has some pretty good things on it. So Ninetales in particular, the main thing I want to point out here is plus 70 luck during Yokai shift. Now, when it comes to farming, one of the main things that a lot of people will do is you'll basically get the boss or whatever you're farming down to where it's almost dead. I mean, like, 2 or 3 hits and it's dead at that point. You pop your Yokai shift and then you finish it. And so doing that while you have Ninetales on,
When you finish it, you have an extra 70 luck active, which is a huge bonus. Like 70 luck is, I don't think I think the only other source of luck that is as substantial as that would be a maxed out Gamo clan bonus, which is the luck clan. So very, very big boost to luck. Great choice for farming. Moving on though, onto Abduction. Now Abduction is a very important mission because this mission is where you are going to farm all the accessories you could possibly want. On New Game Plus, this is the mission where you would farm for a Yasakani if you're just trying to farm one up as opposed to beating New Game Plus and getting it. If you need something rare like a Tochi's Gourd or a Toshi's Abacus, you would get that here as well. So I'm going to show that real fast before we continue on. Now, right here where these three guys are, right next to them, that loot is always going to be an accessory 100% of the time. Now, the way you would farm this is you pop it. Look at it, divination board. That's an Omyo thing. I don't want it. Now, as long as I don't pick it up, I can go back to the shrine and I can rest. And now when I go back over to that, it'll be something new. Now you can only hit the loot twice like that, so that was our first use of it. Hit it a second time. We got a comb. Now, what you'll notice is if we try to do it a third time, it's not going to change. It's still just going to be a comb. So at the second time, if it's still not what you want, you would go here and you would pop a, let me sort these by type, Divine Branch and leave the mission. Alternative, honestly, what I would suggest doing is when you're doing this farm, just make sure you have almost no Amrita and then use a regular Divine Branch so you're not burning through your good ones. But essentially, you can do this over and over and over again. Like I said, this one shouldn't change. This should still be a comb. I want to say it's 2 cycles on it. Yeah, still a comb. But essentially, you can hit that over and over again. And by doing that, you can hopefully spawn a specific accessory that you might be looking for. So if you're someone that's trying to get writing sets, or you're trying to get divination boards, or something, you know, I don't know, whatever the case is. Maybe you want combs. You can do that as many times as it takes to get accessories that you want. So, this area is going to be a gauntlet. The very first thing we're going to do is run straight over here and pop this. These lanterns will spawn Oni B heads for, I'll say there's roughly 10 spawns per lantern. But that's also worth mentioning because it means that on this mission, if you're trying to get those Oni B heads, which I've mentioned before are really, really nice to have on as guardian spirits, and pretty soon we're actually going to have access to three soul cores. So I find them to be an excellent choice if you're looking for something to put a third soul core slot. It's essentially just a free on-demand weapon buff, which costs a little bit of anima. This is the mission to farm them, 100%. Should be one Gaki over here to kill you off first. Time we're waiting 18 minutes. We'll actually show that farm too while we're here. Because I just got done farming a bunch of those for the main build. So what I would typically do, there's already 3 of these little buggers up. Just kill these ones. Essentially, you can just sit right here, kill these things. Oh my god. No! Oh, it was close. Almost hit the lantern. So you can just sit here and just blow these things up as they show up. Great way to level up familiarity on your weapon. Just make sure you don't hit the lantern. Oh, this lantern's almost dead. I heard it too much. You can see how the crystal is kind of just an empty crystal now. That means it is basically petered on out. And at this point, if I go to the shrine without breaking the lantern, they'll begin respawning again. So if I shatter it, it's going to be gone for good. But you have this lantern,
And then you have the other one that is it's right over here. This one already looks like it's summoned up its quote up heads, but essentially we would rest at the shrine, come over here, kill the Gaki, the bomb, the Gaki, and then you could just sit here and you could kill heads for I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, however long you want, until you have maxed out Oni B head. So we are going to open this just in the event that we die. Just make things a little bit easier. Now this next part is going to be variable. You have two choices here. You're either going to have to fight an Ubume at the end, or you're going to have to fight a fart rat. So if you want to fight an Ubume, just head straight ahead. If you'd rather fight the fart rat, head on over here first. I think fart rats are easier to kill than Ubumes. You want to pick up Lost Shotaro. So we're going to be fighting a Cyclops and a Gaki, and then a Gaki and an Umbrella, and then it'll be basically a gauntlet of either the Ubume or the fart rat, and a shit ton of Gakis. And if you bring little Shotaro along, make sure you keep him alive. He's pretty resilient on his own. He's not gonna, you know, get nuked. But if he dies, you'll fail the little side quest here. I think it's worth mentioning there's no trophy or anything attached to this. It's just an alternative ending to this quest. For the sake of the walkthrough, I thought it was a little bit easier. Right. And before we kill that one, this is where we're getting buffed up. We are getting all the way buffed. Everything we want on. Because we want to kill this guy that shows up as fast as we possibly can. I'm gonna wait right here. See all the little Gakis and the Cyclops is dying. The longer that fight goes on, the more you get overwhelmed. And that's why I suggest fighting the test hooks. If you're fighting the Ubume, she does her shout, it's gonna knock you back, and then since it knocks you back, all that shit's gonna get on top of you, and you're gonna have a bad time, man. I hate having to finish this mission. But if you're here to do the farming for accessories, you don't even have to finish the mission. You know, once you get the accessory that you want, you use your Divine Branch, head on out, loot is saved even when you leave a mission, and you're gravy from there. But that is going to wrap up things for now. So moving on up, next up we have the Sunsets on Mount Tenno. Now this one will actually be probably a pretty short mission, if I'm being honest. This is the mission that was in the beta where you go and you fight Ryumen. I know this mission so well that it should be pretty easy to go through this just glancing at my notes. So I expect it'll probably be a single episode mission, but we'll see. There's a lot of stuff to grab here and a lot of Kodamas that are kind of tucked off in the corners. So we'll see what happens. Actually, you know what? It will probably be 2 parts because there's actually some farming we have to do in this mission. But either way, stay tuned and I'll catch you guys soon with that.